Hello and welcome to Women in Retail Talks. I'm Christina Stidham, Digital Content Manager at the Women in Retail Leadership Circle, and today I'm joined by Kelly Nyland, Founder and CEO, and Renee Bartlett, Co-Founder and Chief Operating Officer of Whym, a first-of-its-kind female-centered text boutique that offers customers a more personable way to browse and buy. Today we're discussing text commerce, shopping via brand values, and Whym's sister brand, Pedalfox, plus a lot more. So Kelly and Renee, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
You both have impressive career backgrounds and previously worked together at Snap Inc., which runs Snapchat. Can you both tell us a little bit more about your career journeys before you co-founded Whym?
Sure. So a little bit about my background. This Pedalfox and Whym is my seventh company, first time founding a VC-backed company, but I've worked for 7 other startups. And as far as my retail background, I've had a really awesome opportunity for each one of those brands to lead new types of consumer products to market, actually 120 different consumer products across both physical and digital experiences. And most of those products have had some type of emerging technology edge. So, for example, I introduced the very first drone ever to the marketplace in 2010. I worked on robots for 4 or 5 years. And then and actually with that company, a company called Sphero, I negotiated a worldwide deal with Apple stores, and for about 18 months ran around the world negotiating import of record and distribution deals and setting up channel marketing and PR in their top 40 countries, where they were selling in about 428 stores. And in addition to that, I've worked with between 20 to 40,000 points of sale across the different brands internationally. Worked with Target, Amazon properties, and just about all of their top performing countries. And always sitting on the brand side, never really sitting on the retailer side until now. So it's a pretty interesting journey to sort of be both brand and creating this sort of new full retail ecosystem concept with Renee. And Renee and I met at Snap, and I'll let her tell you a little bit about that journey.
So this is Renee, and my background, the lion's share of my time was spent with agencies. So creative agencies, marketing agencies, advertising agencies. My focus was really the experiential. So a brand would come to us and they would be looking for some way to bring their experience or their product directly to the hands of customers to create a one-to-one experience. And that's where sort of my team would come in. We would ideate, develop, and execute those activations for brands like Pepsi, Budweiser, Cartoon Network, just kind of a huge gamut of products, specifically a lot of CPG, and a lot of things done at the retail level. So in store, handing out samples, teaching customers about what the new product is or the experience, and really allowing the brand to get in front of the customer and to get a lot of feedback that they could then take and improve those products. So lots of agencies, and then where I met Kelly at Snapchat, we came together for the launch of Spectacles, which was Snapchat's camera recording sunglasses. So we came in prior to the launch, and we really helped develop that program together. And that's where we met, and
I think really brought to life like a super interesting retail concept. The safe route for launching Spectacles would have been like, okay, let's just put this on Amazon, put this all over the internet. And instead, we decided to choose 100 of the world's top destinations to drop mini vending machine robots that sold these sunglasses. And for 10 months, that was the only way you could buy a pair of Snapchat sunglasses.
That's right. I remember that. That's cool.
Yep.
Well, awesome. You guys both have such impressive backgrounds. I mean, this is incredible that you're now coming together to launch Whym.
Thank you.
So Whym is a text commerce shopping boutique, specifically female focused. So can you tell us more about how it works and what products you sell?
Yep. The concept for text commerce really was born out of Renee and I having this experience at Snapchat where we were selling through a social platform, not unlike Pinterest or Instagram, and we just saw some of those really interesting challenges of the customer journey going from discovery and interest in a social media environment, and then really sort of where was that opportunity to create that impulse buy around great and interesting products. And then we also started to look at the sphere of subscriptions and repurchasing. So repurchasing was a super interesting behavior around shopping for us, because a lot of companies have the ability to serve more intuitive types of replenishment programs to their customers, but just sort of default to like a monthly subscription. We thought that having a more dynamic way of introducing and giving our customers the opportunity to buy and rebuy, there was an opportunity to not be agnostic, to really use data to personalize that experience, and to sort of wrap all of this up and put it in a place where people are still paying attention. And that for us was with text messaging. And so I sort of dreamt up this idea. I said, well, wouldn't it be great if someone just sent me something every week that was like this beautiful piece of content, and there was an opportunity to buy products, and then I could just respond back, get, gift, or skip. And I thought text message was great because at the time I was a busy working mother and executive.
And you still are.
True.
Hasn't changed.
And text messaging is the only place that I pay attention to. And so I thought, wow, that's super interesting. And so today, the way that our text commerce service works is you check out similar to how you would check out online. And during that first experience, we actually verify your phone number through an authorization code that uses Google. So it's super, super secure. And then you also enter your billing and payment information. And through that process, we are then able to set up this personalized digital wallet. And the magic behind what we're doing with text commerce falls into several buckets, but the two major ones happen to be that once you have this experience with us and you check out during the first time, every subsequent purchase on the platform can simply be made by sending a keyword to us, sending an emoji, letting us know that that's the product that you want. And so we say it's as easy as checking out with an emoji. And that's really the process. So it's not scary. It's really just checking out online, and then we're sort of doing all the work in the back end to make all future purchases super, super easy. The second really interesting thing about text commerce is that we have a team of people. So it's not just pushing promotions to you every week. There's an entire staff of personal shoppers that can help you find something that you want that's in your budget, look for unique items, replenish products that you've already purchased, things that are purchased on a regular basis on our platform, are flowers, coffee, products that need replenishing within like office supplies, and so those are all transactions that can happen over text message with a real person on the back end sort of handling the purchase.
That's awesome. Yeah. So to follow up with that, I didn't realize that you had that personal shopping aspect. So that's something that everybody who completes a purchase will receive?
Yes. Basically, there is when the transaction happens with a purchase, there is a human team member on the back end, as opposed to like a robot with the conversational logic. There are some automations that we have in place because our objective is to really create a frictionless experience for the customer. And sometimes computers are faster at answering questions than humans are. But I would say more than 50% of the time, there's a human involved in the conversation and the shopping experience and the purchase experience.
Great. That's fantastic. So I think you answered my next question as well. So I do want to go back to the products and actually talk about how I saw that you support a lot of women-owned small businesses. You pick out a lot of what you are calling Insta brands to sell their products. So I'm wondering how you find these brands, how you select who you want to partner with and sell their products, and a little bit more about that.
Okay, sounds great. So, Renee and I, when we first started this journey about 2 years ago, we started encountering a lot of the challenges that small brands face today, and that has a lot to do with the rising costs of advertising on Instagram and Facebook. And also, in addition to that, just these organic algorithms that once you build up a user base on these social media platforms, you're only really delivered 6 to 8% of your content to the people that have decided to follow or like you. And so we have this real passion for supporting other female-founded companies, but other companies that have the same values that our customers have told us that are important to them. So if you go online today on Whym, so it's actually mywhym.co, you can see that we've assorted products in 9 different brand value categories. And those things include female-founded or owned companies, minority-owned, companies that you can shop that have a social good component. We have a quirky little tag called "Not on Amazon" because a lot of our customers are super curious about how they can support small brands, and that's usually like one indication of a brand, sort of being small and in those early stages. And so we've now got about 200 products, sort of from 50 different small brands. And that's one way in which we're sort of merchandising and telling our story around this small business shop, and the ability to use Whym as an umbrella to trust and kind of try out all of these different interesting products that you're seeing on Instagram, but maybe don't want to buy from each brand individually yet. Because I know for me, my shopping experience, where a lot of the friction happens is in creating that account and password, going and finding my purse, going and getting my credit card PIN. And I'm more reluctant to do that because passwords have become like my nemesis. It's really,
it's really. Kelly, can you log into that? No.
Nope. I can't log into any. It's the worst. It's just awful. And so what we've done with Whym is that we never require you to create an account or a password. We're using your phone number as a way to identify who you are through secure authorization. And that's one thing that we feel like is a real value add for a lot of our career-focused men and women. The majority of the women buying from us are a career-focused demographic that are interested in sort of buying and rebuying in a really seamless and easy and convenient way.
Great. Yeah, that totally makes the process a lot easier. The fact that I always hate that, going to search for the credit card PIN and like scrambling around, like, I just want to buy this, but where's my credit card?
And I would also like to mention that the platform allows you to get or gift anything. So it's super easy once you've set up. Once you've gone through that first time purchase, we can actually collect your gift addresses right through text message. So it's super easy to share contact. That's another thing that our customers really, really love, is that we've just, taken all the guesswork out of gifting, and made it really, really easy to just, send through a gift address, and then we just kind of take care of the entire order on the back end. There's not a lot of, looking around or digging for that kind of thing either.
Yeah, that's great. It truly creates a pretty frictionless experience. Being a women-owned business yourself, I just want to ask why you feel it's important that you're supporting other women-owned small businesses when you're picking these small businesses.
Well, I would say that, a lot of times what we've seen within the last 2 years, that one of the top things that has been searched, read, in the engagement around our content all has to do with this Renee and I's story. First of all, she and I talk a lot about the strength of our partnership as sort of two female co-founders, coming together, where we have venture capital that we've been backed by. And so that, as a female founded company, looking to do really, really, really big things in the future, that's something that we're super sensitive to. And a lot of the sentiment around female founded companies has to do with just this empowerment of taking your side hustle and turning that into a full-time job. And really having kind of, as Renee talks about a lot, like control over your own destiny. And so I think that's where we really feel passionate about. And we know that our community around Paddle Fox and around Whym, that really resonates with the women that, are in our sphere, and that also buy from us, and that we buy from as well. So it's just, for lack of a better term, supporting the sort of feminist wallet.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I love it. It's super essential to support other women and other women's businesses. And like you said earlier, I think you mentioned that your customers can shop by brand value. And you were talking about, the different options, whether it be eco-friendly, women created, doing social good. And that's something that's so important, I feel like, to the modern customers who are really interested in knowing where the product stands and where the business stands as far as these like more social issues. So that's awesome.
Definitely something that our customers have told us over the past 2 years. It's not easy to just go to a place, I guess even within Instagram, or go to a retailer and say, hey, I'd like to shop by value. It's really important to me that the products I'm buying have a sustainability element. Can you show me those products? So it's a unique way of merchandising the product, but it really came out of the recommendations and sort of the sentiment from our customers.
That's great. Yeah, listening to your customers, right? So how do you let people know about your company? Obviously, you're still growing and you have plans to grow much larger. And you mentioned about social media. Are you using influencers, paid advertising? What's your marketing strategy there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Renee and I come from such an omni-channel background that we've really kind of taken an omni-channel approach. Since the very beginning, we've used events and experiential to connect with our customers offline. We have a mix right now that pretty much runs the gamut of online and offline, minus maybe a more traditional channel like TV. We've found a lot of success with organic traffic from Pinterest, and a lot of that content for us that we've tested and works has to do with sort of self-care and this idea of empowerment around entrepreneurship. So it isn't necessarily straightforward, product marketing. It's more of content marketing. We now have, I think, over 50 blog posts that we've written on lifestyle topics that span the range of things related to like fashion, home decor. We publish a seasonal color guide. So a lot of the work that we do, we produce a ton of content, and that is related to what our customers really love and care about. Actually, one of the top things that our customers love is we send a weekly mood board that features flowers, other products, and some of our inspiration that we've pulled from other outlets online, which of course we always credit. And a lot of our customers will tell us, like, we just love getting that weekly mood board. It comes with a little quirky piece of copy. It gives you the opportunity, obviously, to buy different things within that mood board, but it's something that our customers, regardless of whether they buy or not, they really celebrate and tell us about that. So we obviously use text messages as a channel. We advertise on Spotify, through digital billboards, through opportunities like this with podcast and PR. We have published for the first time this holiday season, and it will be relevant through our spring guide, which is a lookbook. And you can actually go on mywhym.co and sign up to receive one. And it's, again, sort of this seasonal guide of products and inspiration that we feel is really relevant. So print is a part of our mix as well. And Renee, did I cover everything?
Yeah, I think one of the other things that we're working on right now for holiday that we're super excited about is like a physical manifestation. Kelly mentioned before, we've done events, and we did that as we were Petal Fox kind of early on. But it's really what we're working on is a physical manifestation of this tech shop where you can come and you can see and explore the products, and then you can actually order them via text message and have them delivered to you. So think of it more like a gallery. And so that's something that we are working on for holiday, a really big pop-up that we're hoping will happen, and then into early next year. So if our test with this like really big opportunity is successful, like you might see more Whym pop-ups in the future.
The tech shop that Renee's talking about is a very powerful project that will come to life in 2020 in a much larger way. But it's an inventoryless showroom that has experiential elements to it that would be very, let's just say, like, Instagrammable or shareable. And the reason we're passionate about this offline text shop is because we really think that there's a disconnect between needing to shop and have a ton of inventory in the store, and then just kind of this experience that we've all had with like getting boxes at our door. So we don't think that people need to have everything immediately, and that there's this opportunity to reduce sort of the load on operations, supply chain, logistics, which we spent about 2 years really setting up a strong foundation for. And so the tech shop is a great way to go get a hands-on experience with 50 Insta brands that you probably wouldn't be able to experience in a physical setting anywhere else. And so that's another project that we're very excited about in a lot of the partnerships we have with these companies, because it may be one of the only places of physical retail for a lot of these brands to have consumers experience them.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of your Insta brands that you're talking about love the opportunity to go meet their customers in person. That's fantastic. And obviously people, they see these brands on Instagram. They like their stuff. We were talking before the call about how it takes so many touch points and time and repeated interactions before people decide to buy. And I feel like partially that's because they're only seeing imagery about the product.
Yes.
So bringing it to the physical space, that's great.
And this level of vetting too that happens with something that you're seeing online or on Instagram. I've ordered a couple of things that arrived to my house, and I'm like, that isn't the quality that I thought it was going to be.
Right.
She does we have a really fantastic buyer. She has like incredible experience and has done like an amazing job of like curating this store that we have. But that's another opportunity that, we want our customers, and they trust us to find really great things for them, that we believe in, that when they receive them, that they're going to know that they're a certain level of quality. So then that next step into a physical experience allows people to touch and feel this product before they actually buy it, as opposed to, like you said, just seeing a picture of it and not really knowing exactly what they're going to get when it arrives at their house.
Yeah, and there's a team of 7 women and 3 men vetting all of these products, and it's a constant process of, we get so excited when we get the product in, we get a chance to try it with some of our user groups for testing, and we feel really we're behind every one of those 200 products that we have in our store. They've been tested and vetted, and the quality is really great. Like Renee was saying, we want to make sure that people have that level of quality and trust in shopping these particular types of products, because we've all had that lackluster experience with buying things online.
Right, definitely. And to trust the whole text commerce thing. Like, you want people to trust your brand, trust shopping via text, trust your products. So that makes total sense. So you also founded a sister company to Whym in 2017. It was Petal Fox. And you mentioned a few times earlier, but can you tell us briefly about that? I know it delivers or focuses on fresh flowers, coffee, and more, and it's also shopping via text. So can you tell us briefly about that company and how it's connected to Whym?
Sure. So Petal Fox is now a floral collection under Whym, and Whym is the parent company for not only the brands that will be launched underneath the parent company, but also for the tech shop retail concept and an entire platform of technology that we built to enable text commerce. The first most important feature is the what we call our Whym wallet, and it's been an interesting journey because this isn't just like setting up a shop on Shopify. We really had to build an entire technology stack to power text commerce in a super frictionless way. And I think the nuance of that is when we started Petal Fox, the reason we chose flowers is because we looked at a bunch of consumable products that may be needed on, a weekly basis with our kind of core customer. And after looking at a bunch of those products, we decided on flowers because we realized that in the floral market, which is about a $7 to $8 billion market, more than 50% of all the flowers are purchased by women for themselves, which is an astonishing statistic because there aren't really any digital shops or digital players essentially set up to really serve that market. Most of the digital companies that we had done research on were all sort of focused on gifting. A lot of it was men gifting flowers to women at super high price points that were more of like statement pieces versus how women actually buy flowers for themselves and how women buy flowers for other women, and the way in which those products and experiences needed to be designed were completely different. And so we put a lot of intention into like, how do we build a consumable product in both a physical product experience and digital product experience that cater to this type of behavior. And we saw women picking up flowers at the grocery store on a weekly basis, and so that was our objective, was to essentially give them a more frictionless and fast and easy way to do that, but to take the negative stigma around like grocery store flowers and to provide, it's funny, some of our customers talk about our flowers as like flowers made for the modern woman, or these are like grown-up flowers. And what we did was go out and research and match color palette and what was trending really on social, we found that women wanted to buy the things that they were seeing on social media. And so we really worked hard to sort of match that aesthetic in a physical product, meaning in our flowers, versus just sort of default to whatever was at the grocery store. And so that was what Petal Fox was really about. And in order to bring that to life, we ended up building this entire text commerce platform. And now kind of the entire collection is inspired by flowers. So there's a bunch of faux flowers, products with floral print. A lot of our customers within Petal Fox just love this idea of celebrating an everyday romance with themselves or with their girlfriends through flowers and floral inspired products. So yeah.
Great. Yeah. Certainly grocery store flowers don't really feel like they're for you. They're just kind of there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's great. What are your future plans to grow Whym and everything under it, including Petal Fox?
So that's a great question. We have, as of basically, launching Whym in Q4, We now have about 200 products, and I think that those different product categories that really cater to an on-the-go lifestyle that many of the women and ourselves included have around like travel, and really creating more of this beautiful space at work, something that feels like a space that you want to spend time in, because most of the women that we know that are working lots and lots of hours at work. Mm-hmm. And so really sort of giving yourself permission to make that space somewhere where you can really celebrate your femininity, right? And that's one of the things that we think about is how can we encourage our customers to bring their whole selves to work, or celebrate themselves throughout the day. And a lot of that has to do with self-care products that you can just grab and go. And we found that a lot of our women and men are replacing the things in their bathroom, like self-care products. Those things are ending up in just like a work drawer, so that they can refresh like before a happy hour or in the middle of the day or after the gym. And so we've got several different categories of products that, again, really cater to sort of this work-life lifestyle and an on-the-go lifestyle. And so that's kind of what we'll be building out. And then in terms of the channels, we have 4 different channels that we're operating in, which is text message. There's the ability to browse and build a virtual cart, both online and offline, through our lookbook and through our offline concept with the tech shop. And so we'll continue to build out additional channels and additional footprints in the future. And the final thing that we're looking to build is more of this personalized experience. So one area that we think that there's a lot of opportunity to grow and build around our customers is a highly personalized experience around the products that each customer wants to buy and then rebuy. And we're very passionate about some of that early inspiration around using data to not just be agnostic, so not just push you a promotion that might apply to you and 1 million other people. We really want to start to create different content, meaning text-based content and image-based content that is personalized to the way that you want to shop for different products, different categories of products, and the cadence in which you want to hear about those things. I think a lot of companies have just defaulted to sending an email every day. If they are using text message, they just want to blast it out to you every day and hope that you're interested in a promotion. And we just think that text message is a sacred space. It's very personal, and that as a company, we need to do a really fantastic job of personalizing one-to-one the type of content that you're experiencing from the company, so that you can really feel that. And I think if we can do that with our customers, then we can really serve them the best.
Great. Well, it sounds like you have a lot going on, and I'm excited to see what Whym brings in 2020.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're really excited about what the future holds.
Yeah, Kelly and Renee, thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Women in Retail Talks.
Awesome. Thank you
so much.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at womeninretail.com/podcast for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.